Hey there, trainers. Due to a very high volume of comments on the recent Pokemon Go videos from people asking really basic questions about the game, I decided that I'd make an easily digestible list of tips for new players out there to help them on their journey to become Pokemon masters. So here it is, my top 5 tips for new trainers in Pokemon Go. At number 5, this is going to be a little difficult for you confrontational trainers out there. Don't worry about battle until you're ready. If you've played the traditional Pokemon game series, battling is probably one of the first things on your mind, but with Go, it's important that you don't rush into it. The truth is, as a new trainer, you're probably not even capable of doing battle with other more experienced trainers in your area. You need to gain experience first and understand the game's mechanics. So when you first begin on your Pokemon adventure, do just that. Go outside and walk. Travel to nearby places that you haven't been before. Explore, bring a friend or two with you, and immerse yourself in the magic of the game. Once you have a knack for catching Pokemon, collecting items from stops, and you understand how the geomap works, you can start to understand battle. But don't rush it. It's not a race. It's more of a challenge of your resolve. At number 4, catching Pokemon in masses is your progression system. Currently, you're not able to do battle with wild Pokemon that you encounter. That's all centered around the gyms. So to progress as a trainer and also to train your Pokemon to become stronger, the game's progression system is centered around catching and hatching Pokemon. Unlike the traditional games, you'll be catching thousands of Pokemon on your adventure, and you only need to keep a small fraction of them. The rest you trade in for resources that you can later use to increase the combat power of Pokemon that you'd like to keep on your team. So instead of increasing your Pokemon's strength through battle, you use the resources that you've acquired from transferring a catch of the same family to the game's professor. Example, you want to increase the strength of a Charmander that you've caught. You must catch or hatch more Charmander and use the candies you've received to channel their power into one singular Pokemon. This encourages less of that battle grind that you may be familiar with from the original games, and more so the adventure that you might be familiar with from the anime. At number 3, battling is action-based. Now, when you get around to doing battle, the first thing that you need to come to terms with is that the system in this game is not turn-based like your traditional Japanese RPG. In other words, you can't wait 3 minutes to plan out your next move. You gotta do it quickly and in real time. Battle in Go is based on matching the correct Pokemon types against one another to give you an advantage. Then you gotta find the best time for your strongest attacks. You gotta dodge the incoming attacks of the opponent and decide when it's best to call back one of your Pokemon in exchange for another. There's also an entirely new mechanic to Go, and that is battling with up to several trainers of your friendly team to combine your efforts for a stronger gym presence. In this regard, the game is like an MMO. It creates communities within communities through its battle system, allowing for not only a more action-based battle experience, but also social circles stemming from the game's culture. Number 2, I've covered this in a previous video, hatching is the fastest way to progress. If what you'd like to do is become a powerful trainer by having the strongest Pokemon, then your focus should really be on hatching eggs. Egg hatching not only provides a lot of experience and resources that you're going to need to train your Pokemon, like Candy and Stardust, but it's also the most reliable way to acquire Pokemon with a high combat power. Hatching eggs is simple. You get them from your trips to Pokéstops through a random spawn, and you can only carry 9 of them at a time. You must first place the eggs in an incubator and then walk. It's important to note that in order for your movement to be counted toward hatching an egg, you have to keep the Pokemon Go app open during your travels. Otherwise, your smart device will not be communicating with the servers and your progress will not be recorded. Remember that the majority of your smart device's battery life will be allocated to the screen's backlight, so if your focus is hatching, dim your screen and get yourself a power pack to keep your phone charged on the go. Until internal battery life is extended in standardized smart devices, a power pack is a must-have tool for any Pokemon master. And at number 1, don't spend your resources on weak catches. This is the number 1 mistake that a lot of players make. I feel like I need to preface this by saying You can and you should play the game however you want, but if you want to have powerful Pokemon compared to the majority of the competition out there, one of the easiest ways to do that is to quite simply disregard gyms, harkening back to our first tip, and save all of your Stardust and candy for when you start to hatch Pokemon with a vastly superior starting combat power than the ones you'll find at trainers level 1 through 15. If you save your Stardust until you're ready to do battle, which I would say is around the trainer level 20 mark, you'll have plenty to maximize the combat potential of several Pokemon of your choosing, which will become your fighting roster. Use that roster to take gyms and keep them with you instead of leaving them out there for defense. And that about does it for this video, guys. Really quick and to the point. I wanted to put this together because I know there's a lot of new players out there and a lot of people still haven't gotten access to the game at the time of this recording. So hopefully this helped you out. And if you want to get your friends to play and they're just starting out, maybe consider passing this over to them. Give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this and subscribe to my channel. I will be aspiring to post the best Pokemon Go videos on the interwebs. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Watch where you're going and stay safe out there.